How is in the strategies and the techniques. Because I love sales, I put 10 strategies on the screen. I'm not going to go through all of them. I put that up there, food for thought. I will focus on the first two, and this comes back to your question. One of the first things I want to go through is an example on measuring your KPIs, your sales variables. Now, I've talked with lots of different examples. Tonight, with sales, I'm going to go through an example of two-stage selling. Okay, so one-stage selling is in a retail example. Someone walks in the store and they either buy or they don't. One stage. Two-stage is when we get a phone call or we make a phone call, we sell an appointment, and then from that appointment we put a quote or a price or a proposal together, and then we make a sale or we don't. So there's two steps. So within each step in your sales process, what are the key performance indicators that make a difference to your conversion rate? We want to measure each one. So let's have a look at this. The phone inquiry. What are the key performance indicators that make a difference? The questions we ask a person to understand their needs over the phone is a KPI. How we handle the inevitable price objection that people, how much is it that they do over the phone, is another KPI as to whether they are willing to book that appointment. When we go through the process of closing the sale, in this case booking the appointment, how do we do it? What phrase or wording do we use? Makes a big difference to a person's willingness to commit to that appointment. If a person isn't willing to book that appointment just yet, do we offer to send them an information pack? Do we get round to sending that information pack 2 days later, 5 days later, or not at all? Do we give them a follow-up call to say, now that you received the information, did you want to book that appointment? So there's literally 5 to 10 KPIs in a phone call and its follow-up that can make a massive difference to your conversion rate. So now let's look at appointment to sale. What are the KPIs there? Once again, the questions we ask to understand their needs is a KPI. What questions do we ask? How do we present the benefits of the product is another KPI. How do we present the benefits of the company? Points of difference is another KPI. How do we close the sale? How do we handle the objections that consistently come up? If there's a proposal or price involved, what does that proposal look like? Does it actually have testimonials and points of difference, or is it just a one page with a listing of prices on it? If we send that proposal, how long does it take us to get it out there? Do we follow it up? Do we use a value add offer to push the sale across the line in 2 days rather than 4 months? So there is literally 20 to 30 KPIs across the full 2 stage of selling, which if you start working on each one, this is where we'll see people go from 20 or 30% up to 60 or 70% just by this process. And even in retail, from people who walk in to a shop to the point at which they buy at the counter, there's at least 5 KPIs. You want to look at each one, what's being said, start testing and measuring, and you'll be amazed at how much growth you'll get.